Hello everyone and happy Easter. It's a pleasure to have you back. I'm also very glad to be back, even though when you watch this, Easter should have already passed, because it takes me forever to edit and everything, but I have a very fun and interesting movie to talk about today. So, as I was in a very festive mood, I rewatched one of my favorite childhood movies, or at least I thought. It's called Here Comes Peter Cottontail, and, well, yeah, it's a doozy. It has time travel. Hello everyone and happy... Oh, sorry, I thought the camera was over there, and I already thought I did the intro scene, but... Anyways, this story has time travel and a singing worm, or caterpillar, that really creeps me out. Also, I'm gonna be reading from my little script, so if you see me looking down or looking here, it's because I have my basic info here, so please... Oh, also I'm holding my mic in my hand because I'm sitting down, so cut me some slack. Sorry. Anyways, Here Comes Peter Cottontail is a stop motion movie that was published or released in April 4th, 1971. When I say that, it's important to note that this movie is older than my mom. So mom, if you're watching, you're old, I guess. The way that I would describe this movie is fever dream. I don't remember anything that happened in this movie, and I really don't remember much of anything, really. If I'm going to be completely honest, I've rewatched it God knows how many times, and I still can't tell you the main idea or plot. And since I don't remember anything from this movie, I won't be telling you about it. Just kidding, I'll talk about it later, but just wait, I guess. I'm going to be talking about the history of how the hell did we get an Easter bunny? What does that even mean? What is the Easter bunny? Where did this guy come from? Who thought of him? Why? Why a bunny that leaves eggs? It would make more sense if it was a chicken. So I really want to know. I'm confused. I want to know. Why is there a bunny that lays eggs and not a chicken that lays eggs? Anyways, in 1901, Beatrix Potter published a book called The Tale of Peter Rabbit, in which Peter had a sibling, and his name, or her name, I don't know, is called Cottontail. So yeah, your whole life has been a lie. Peter Cottontail is not real, it's Peter Rabbit. It wasn't until Thornton Burgess, I think that's how you say it, Burgess, Bergamont, I don't know. Thornton, I'll call you Thornton, sorry. He wanted to honor Potter's creation and decided to do a illustrated book about Peter Rabbit, in which now it's called The Adventures of Peter Cottontail. But in reality, his name is still Peter Rabbit. He just changes his name halfway through, and then he's like, oh yeah, I don't want to have Peter Rabbit anymore. I'm gonna be Peter Cottontail. Eventually his name changes back to Peter Rabbit, so your life is still a lie. It's still Peter Rabbit, at least for now. Just wait. So we've covered why there's a bunny, but how does he even relate to Easter? This has nothing to do with Easter. It's just a bunny getting up to his own hijinks. So how does this even connect to Easter? Well, I'm gonna name off a few songs, and let me know if you've heard of them. Here Comes Santa Claus and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You guys remember that? I hope so, because they're extremely popular. Those were all made by the same person that wrote Here Comes Peter Cottontail. Huh, isn't that interesting? It's the same guy. He just decided that they're going to mix the two, and that's what it was. He just said, I'm gonna write a song about a bunny and Easter, because we don't have a mascot yet. And this was when the era of holiday mascots was booming. As you can tell, this guy wrote God knows how many songs about holidays and Santa and Rudolph and whatever. So that's when the mascots have started to become a big deal. Now, this movie has time travel. Yeah, I've mentioned that before. Why? What possessed anybody to do this? Well, there was a book or a comic, I can't remember off the top of my head, but there was something that was a story of the Easter Bunny forgetting to wake up in time to leave the Easter eggs. And that kind of influenced this very interesting movie. We have that part covered. And the rest is now up to the animation company, who also made the stop motion Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer movie. And that movie is also a fever dream. I've seen it so many times, I don't remember it at all. So maybe we'll cover that for Christmas. I don't know. I lied. when I said I was not going to cover the movie's plot. I will try to cover the movie's plot, but honestly, it's insane. So I'm gonna do a voiceover because I will mess up so many times. I have to read off of a script. So it's time for a voiceover. Octopuses. We start with Seymour Sassafras, who strangely looks like Conan O'Brien. He's basically telling us that he's here to sell his colors to Peter Rabbit, the chief Easter Bunny. He's our main narrator and then gives us a tour of April Valley, showing us around and all the cool stuff that happens there. He's surprised to know that we had never heard of Peter Cottontail and then yells into his hat, and then the hat yells back. He brings out this presentation board as if he's gonna sell us some girl boss MLM thing, but actually he just shades Peter the entire time, saying how he almost lost his job and gets into the story of it. He introduces us to January Q, Irontail, who is our main antagonist of the story. He is named Irontail because he lost his tail in a rollerblading accident where a child skated over his tail and he had to get a prosthetic. And so now he vows to destroy Easter and to make all children unhappy. We finally meet Peter Cottontail, as well as the intro sequence, which is really cute with a bunch of rolling eggs all over the place and other bunnies. We also get the iconic song, Here Comes Peter Cottontail, which the movie was based off of. Then Seymour takes us back into the story and introduces us to Colonel Wellington B. Bunny, the most convoluted name in history. Anyways, that's the previous Chief Easter Bunny. He's about to retire and he's trying to pick his successor to see who will take his place. Then he stumbles on Peter Cottontail's picture and he says, oh, this guy might be good. Immediately, this guy starts talking shit about Peter, saying, oh, he lies, oh, he's not responsible. Then the colonel defends Peter while looking stoned out of his mind. When they go to tell Peter, he says, oh, I never believed I would be Chief Easter Bunny, and then his ear drops, which is a sign that he's lying. Then the chief breaks into song about the responsibilities of being the Easter Bunny. We then have the other bunny that was talking garbage about Peter snitching on him to January Q. As the ceremony begins to crown Peter Chief Easter Bunny, Irontail interrupts them and basically saying in the Constitution it's the Easter Bunny that collects the most eggs that becomes Chief Easter Bunny. They both agree to hold a competition to see who will become the Chief Easter Bunny. Peter was confident that he would win, so he held a massive fucking rager, but Irontail had other plans and basically sabotaged him by feeding his cuckoo rooster alarm clock corn bubblegum, which basically meant that it wouldn't wake Peter up in the morning, making him miss all of Easter. So now everyone is quaking in their boots, terrified because Irontail won and he's ruining April Valley. Instead of having chocolates with bunnies and chickens, you're gonna have spiders and octopuses. Because of this, Peter is ashamed and he decides to run away, eventually falling asleep again and waking up on Seymour Sassafras's foot. And I'm not gonna lie, I really like how meta this is. Peter starts venting to Seymour about how bad he feels, that he basically messed up Easter, and Seymour feels really bad. He literally says, damn, you are so depressing, and shows him the Yestermorrowmobile, which is the time travel that I was talking about. And then we meet the pilot, and his name is Antoine, who is a creepy caterpillar, and oh yeah, he just happens to be French.
Baguettes, baguettes, baguette. Oh, oui, oui, madame. I would like to stick my baguette in your vagina.
They plan to go back to Easter morning in order to fix Peter's mistake, and as they're flying away, we have one of the catchiest songs out of the whole movie, and we still have 30 minutes left of the film, so at this point we gotta have Irontail do something dastardly again. So he sends a rocket with a bug to knock Peter down. You would think with a rocket so large that either Peter or Antoine would notice, but no, they don't see the bug sneak on, and he destroys the ship and fries the Yestermobile, eventually falling through a giant calendar calendar into Mother's Day. I honestly think Peter needs glasses or something, because even after crashing into the giant calendar, he goes up to these people and says Happy Easter and tries to give them Easter eggs, and of course they decline because it's Mother's Day. During this, we have Antoine the legend fixing up the Yestermobile, but alas, it was all in vain because they end up flying to the 4th of July and getting hit by a firework. Once they land, Peter is disappointed and disheartened, but Antoine cheers him up by telling him that the Easter eggs don't need to specifically be delivered on Easter and you can deliver it whenever. Peter has basically just given up on life, he's done, but Antoine reassures him with a song about improvising. It's one of the best songs, but also one of the most nightmare fuel songs in the entire movie. And Antoine gets a little bit too comfortable with a lady caterpillar, so I don't know. I'm sorry, I had to. Anyways. With a renewed sense of self and inspiration, Peter sets out and starts painting his eggs 4th of July colors and dresses like Uncle Sam in order to convince the kids to take his eggs. The thing is, the kids don't want eggs, they want firecrackers. So Peter lies and says that, hey, yeah, these are firecrackers. The kids then beat him up and take the eggs. Then they eventually realize that these are not, in fact, firecrackers, that they're actually eggs. So they go and find Peter where he's at the Yestermobile and they have to run away again. After getting basically attacked with the eggs, they eventually get them all back and are able to fly away. And Peter, of course, is upset, but Antoine basically tells him you shouldn't have lied to the kids, giving us the moral lesson of the movie. As they keep flying, they eventually land in Halloween, where Irontail calls up one of his besties, Miss Witch Lady, who honestly is the punniest woman ever in the world. She tries to go scare Peter because of Irontail, and she does a few different tricks, basically changing color, blue, purple, green. As expected, it didn't work, and Peter just laughs about it, basically throwing her into a midlife crisis. Like, it's so bad that even Antoine feels bad for her and is shaking his head. To try to make her feel better, Peter gives her one of his Halloween eggs. And because of this, she gets really happy, so she calls up her freak gang, and yeah, that's what she calls it. And they all go to get some of Peter's Halloween eggs. Let's just say Irontail is pissed and he sends Montrezor, his bat, to get the eggs from Peter as he's turned around. I swear this guy needs glasses or something. But eventually he gets the eggs back as Montrezor starts dropping them. And as usual, they have to land because the Yestermobile is having issues, so they land in Thanksgiving and he dresses up as a bunny turkey thing to try and give eggs, but he's unsuccessful once again. The next holiday is Christmas, and same thing, he is unsuccessful, but he hears someone crying, so he goes to investigate, and it's Bonnie the Bonnet, a talking hat. Bonnie's crying because it's Christmas Eve and she's all alone and nobody wanted her even for Easter, so she's really upset. Peter decides to go into the shop and talk to the store owner. Eventually, they settle that they would trade his Christmas eggs for Bonnie, and because she thinks they're beautiful, she accepts the trade. But Irontail is close behind, and because Peter needs glasses, which is kind of interesting because usually you say that rabbits have good eyesight because of carrots, but whatever. He flies away on Montrezor, and this part always makes me feel so bad because Peter takes the Yestermobile and leaves Antoine. How do you I swear, Peter, maybe the snitch was right. Maybe you are really irresponsible and dumb. How do you leave the captain of the ship who knows how to fly it? And Antoine's literally crying for you. Like, he's crying goodbye. Anyways, because it's Christmas, Santa Claus has to come up in some fashion, so he basically crashes into Irontail and drops the eggs back with Peter. But he doesn't know how to fly the machine until Bonnie finally tells him, yo, there's a stop button, and he just never realized that was a thing. And they end up landing on Valentine's Day, which they had to skip New Year's, so whatever, but he sees this girl called Donna and he is kind of love struck. No, we're not doing this shit again. Nope. See, you were having too much fun with Donna, and now look. Irontail's taking your freaking eggs again. Well, actually, he's just turning them green this time. I don't know why he didn't take them, but it is what it is. We get another song with nightmare fuel imagery, and here is where he figures out what to do with the eggs, which is hand them out on St. Patrick's Day because they're green. Of course, this is a big hit, and he succeeds in giving all the eggs out. Now he can go back to April Valley and be crowned Chief Easter Bunny by the Colonel. Yay! They end this movie with a nice heartwarming goodbye, showing that everyone got their happy ending. Bonnie found a home, Donna and Peter seem to be getting along, Antoine becomes a butterfly. Yay for Antoine. I'm so happy for him. He looks beautiful. And then of course you have Irontail, who is now the janitor. So wasn't that a very interesting history lesson and synopsis of the movie? I think it was great. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I've put a lot of work into writing and editing it, so please share, like, do whatever you guys do, and have a happy Easter. Even though it's over, have a happy whatever you are going to do. Or just enjoy the video, which I think is just fun. So I will see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and happy belated Easter. Goodbye. Spin. It's not, okay, hold on, I gotta put this down.
Octopuses.